Great to see everyone. Great to finally be on the grass or the turf this morning and get a chance to get out there with our guys. And they've been working long and hard since January, so it's certainly a pleasure to get out with them. Looking forward for a great year. I think it starts with us. It always does. It starts with the guy taking the snap every time, and that's a great feeling when you got a guy like Terrence coming back. You know, you look at every level of football. If it's high school, college, the NFL, guys that win, guys that are successful have a signal caller that makes plays and gets it done. And he's shown that, had a little adversity at the end of the year last year, but came back and fought through a tough bowl game and had a tremendous offseason. I thought he looked great today throwing the football. So I think he's back to where he needs to be. Looking for him to take his game to new heights, and you wonder how that can happen, but it can happen. I think he can become a more consistent thrower. But as far as managing the game and getting us where we need to be offensively in the run game and everything involved there, he does a tremendous job. So that's our challenges with Terrence, is footwork and taking that ability to throw the football and throw the ball on a consistent basis to a new level. So we're certainly excited about that and his progress. And you know, behind that we've got to find some answers. You know, Brooks came in at the end of last year, and we need to keep developing him. And then and he's a good football player. I have no problem with Brooks. He's got to have a great fall camp. But then it's who's next, and we've got to find that question out. You know, it'll be interesting to see. I haven't had a chance to see the young guys, but we have a kind of an influx with Dalvin Populus and Jordan Davis entering the program. Pat Morton's in the program as well. So we need to see what those guys can do to give us some depth there. So that will be a big task of mine as we enter into the fall camp. So that's exciting. Coach just touched on it. It starts with their guys up front. We've been blessed to have the offensive line, the way Coach Mitch coaches those guys and the things that they can do has been very exceptional. We've been able to run the ball very effectively last year. That starts up front, and it starts with the guy you're handing the ball to. And when you have guys like Alonzo Harris and Eli McGuire coming back, not to mention Ephraim and Torrey Pearson, the other guys that fit in to make that group of guys with Coach Lovings, it makes it a pretty sound and balanced attack. Well, we've been blessed. For 3 years, we had a local product, Andre Huval, which got everybody right, got the quarterback right sometimes. So now you take him out of the mix, and we've got to see. But boy, I'm excited. Grant Horst has done a tremendous job. Eddie Gordon, who's a newcomer to our program, first day today, all the snaps are perfect. Sometimes that's the hardest thing. We kind of forget that and think about getting this all right, but boy, they were hitting them where they needed to be. So, but I have confidence in what those guys have done this summer, the way they've worked, and as Coach mentioned, when you're surrounded by the guys with the number of starts that they have, certainly we're looking for some good things there, but that's a big question mark that has to get answered during camp. So, and also Terry Johnson has been there as well. We'd like to keep Terry at guard, but he's did it in the spring and showed some very positive things to add depth there. Mentioned the running backs. I think we're good there. I think we have some great depth. Those guys got to take us to a new level in not only what they do with the ball, but what they do without the ball. And done a good job, but we've got to do a great job protecting the passer, and that's just as important as what they do running the ball. So looking for that. Receivers have a good crew coming back. Obviously, we lose Darryl Surgeon, who was some great speed. But boy, I'm looking for who's going to be the next one. One guy that really excites me is Devin Scott. We haven't seen a lot of Devin Scott. But boy, he's a guy that can run and needs to take another step. Jared Johnson's a player up and coming that needs to come on. Looking for him, the transition of Al Riles from defense to offense in that slot position kind of gives us a little bit different dimension with Al's ability once he catches the football, his running skills. So, you know, we obviously we've got James Butler and Jamal who've played a bunch of snaps, made plays. Good with that. Now we've got to surround them with others. You know, another newcomer that I haven't had a chance to see that I'm interested in looking at is Dylan Bolger, a local product, and Gabe Fuselier, another local product. So looking for what those guys can do to give us some added depth to that core. Tight ends, you know, kind of our unsung heroes. I've been saying that for 2 or 3 years of what they do, what we ask them to do in every facet of our offense. And we lost some really tremendous players last year. Guys that, no, they didn't get a lot of touches, but what they did for us as an offense was phenomenal. So we've got Larry Pettis coming back, who has some of that experience, but now you're looking at Nick Byrne, Matt Barnes, Evan Tatford. And so those guys, with what we do, to me, are integral in what we're trying to get done and have to have a great camp and very athletic. I'm excited about their athleticism, but now let's tie that all in what they're asked to do mentally. So, you know, my task is always we've got to do a couple things. We got to take care of the football. You know, I think last year our running backs, just our running backs, only put one on the ground. That is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And that starts with Coach Lovings. He kind of heads that up for us in our offensive staff. Incredible. Where it's got to come is me, and we're pretty good, throwing the football, but those last 2 or 3 games, we about doubled what we had done all year. And all of a sudden flipped it tremendously, and obviously some of those games we weren't as successful. And so it comes down to that. It comes down to taking care of the ball. And so we've stressed it already today. We'll continue to do that, but that's very, very vital in what we do. We'll play with unbelievable effort, and we're going to flat make plays. That's what offensive teams have to do. That's what I'll continue to challenge our guys to do, is to make plays, and we got to go to another new level. You know, it's last year we needed to run the ball. We were able to do it. You know, and then teams started packing us in the box, okay? So now if they're going to pack us in the box, and boy, these guys on the outside, Jamal, James Butler, Al Riles, whoever it might be, now we got to be able to throw the ball. So, and I think in this day and age, you have to be balanced. You have to be able to do it all. Some game it might lend itself to running the football. The other game it might lend itself to throwing the ball. So, but I feel very confident we can do both of them very effectively. So, you know, we're excited for this campaign. It's been a long time coming. We're excited. I think our battery's charged. We're ready to go. Had a great first day. Like I said, we get a chance to see the new guys this afternoon. So that will be exciting for me, particularly with some young quarterbacks and some skilled kids. So certainly looking forward to that. But